The Stoke City boardroom was a sombre place. It was 6 o'clock on Saturday the 16th of December 2017, and the home team had just lost 3-0 to West Ham United in a Premier League relegation six-pointer. Behind me, the West Ham owners, David Gold and David Sullivan, polite and restrained winners, were quietly sipping tea from some of Staffordshire's finest bone china. In the far corner, Stoke chairman Peter Coates and his son and vice-chairman John, supporters first and owners second, were deep in conversation. With the club edging ever closer to the relegation trapdoor, their well-known loyalty and patience was being put to the test by growing pressure from supporters to sack manager Mark Hughes. That it was the former Stoke player Marko Arnautovic who had delivered such a telling blow to Hughes's tenure had undoubtedly deepened the gloom hanging over the home club's owners. The mercurial forward had been almost unplayable on the day, scoring the second goal to put the match out of Stoke's reach, a fitting epilogue to the soap opera the player had starred in since the summer. After being appointed manager in the summer of 2013, Hughes had recruited Arnautovic, the player's career having stalled at Inter Milan. The Austrian was rejuvenated in the Potteries, his performances earning him a new, lucrative contract in the summer of 2016. A year later, out of the blue, he demanded a transfer. Every supporter knows how these dramas unfold. The transfer request and the club's steadfast refusal to accept it occupy the first scene. In the second act, after attempts to change the player's mind fail, the club reluctantly allows him to leave. In the finale, the departing player uses social media to thank the club and supporters, while the money received is used to buy a new hero. The story followed the standard plotline, and the player was sold to West Ham for a reported £25 million. But events took an unexpected turn. Arnautovic ripped up the script and began to improvise. Interviewed shortly after his move, West Ham's new star questioned the level of Stoke City's ambition and claimed this, rather than money, was the reason for his move. "I wanted to join West Ham because, for me," he said, "it's a bigger club and more ambitious. We can see with the signings that we've made and the players that are already at the club." Stoke were unhappy. In July 2017, Peter Coates made his feelings clear in The Sun. "We are disappointed in him personally and the people around him. We resurrected his career. Our managers and coaches worked very hard to improve him and made him a name in the game. Last year, we spent so much effort into giving him a long-term contract, and the first thing we get in the summer, he comes back, he wants to leave." For broadcasters starved of football content in the summer close season, a full-on public spat was manna from heaven. Modern sports radio relies on sensationalism and controversy to engage its audience, so it was no surprise that TalkSport, the UK's commercial market leader in the genre, took the bait. It quickly put together a programme, What's the Point of Stoke City? And, in classic tabloid style, the presenters set out their case, that football is all about winning and nothing else matters. If mid-table stability in the Premier League was all Stoke City's owners aspired to, then they were in the wrong business. The programme's script could have been lifted from a supporters' online message board. Up and down the country, fans regularly call for their club's owners to move to the next level. It is a not particularly subtle demand for increased spending on transfers and wages to attract better players as the route to success on the pitch. Superficially, TalkSport's point seems a compelling one. After all, football is about winning. Even if we accept that talk radio is not the natural home of nuanced, rational argument, the radio station's attack was narrow and one-sided, ignoring the lessons from English football's journey to commercialisation, which accelerated in the 1980s and continued after the creation of the Premier League in 1992. The path is littered with clubs that overreached financially in pursuit of success and fell from grace. Leeds United, Portsmouth and Bolton Wanderers are just some of the highest-profile examples. A strategy of win at any cost rarely ends well. Making a logical defence, though, wrongly involves accepting TalkSport's framing of the issue.